All right, guys, about to kick this off. It's about 7:45 in the morning here in Northwest Florida. It's almost 50 degrees, should be getting up to around 68, so we're in the prime range for the product we're using today, which is a Direct Colors antiquing stain. It's the driftwood color, and then also with their Acrylic Satin Sealer. And I'm going to put some of the texture on that second coat of sealer, just so that smooth concrete out here is trowel finished, so it's not so slippery when it gets wet for the kids. But yeah, it's just pressure washed it all yesterday. About to go through, check out for any moisture. It looks like you want to check your cracks mostly, or anywhere it has dark spots. There's a couple dark spots here, but these cracks, looks like there's moisture still in these cracks. So quickest way I found to get that out, especially here on February 12th in Northwest Florida, I'm going to use a torch, well, asphalt torch. So let's get started. All right, went through basically an entire battery because I blew the patio off 7 or 8 times. Just want to make sure it's definitely clean and dry. Biggest thing, clean and dry. So went back over a few times just to ensure that was happening. There's some spots I'm kind of worried about, maybe a little wet underneath. We'll see how well it takes. This will be a learning process for us all. But yeah, about to fill up the sprayer with the antique stain, and I'm going to use that instead of wrapping the walls with the paper. I'm just going to walk the walls with the cardboard to have an edge so I don't get the brick sprayed. First coat done. Looks pretty decent over here. Some dry spots where it really soaked it up quick. Some dark spots where it's puddling, so it'll have nice texture. So this section and that section turned out pretty good. That was the like the last half gallon. I had to add some more to the pump sprayer. The first pump sprayer fill up I did, which you saw me shake it. I guess I didn't shake it enough because the color on this side, the pigment really did not pick up out of that 5-gallon bucket and come in. I guess I didn't mix it up well enough, so that's why the color is so much better on this section and this section. I guess I shook it up better when I was less stain in the bucket. It was easy to shake up and mix up. So we'll see what happens with the second coat. I'll obviously apply more to the covered patio portion so we get some more color in there. Hopefully it turns out all right. Went back with just a little bit I had left over in the bucket, in the pump sprayer. Got just a couple little spots just to try to add some texture underneath for the first coat. So yeah, looks good. Okay, I'm pretty happy with these. Worried about this. We'll see what happens. It's work in progress. All right, 24 hours later, got 2 coats on. Wasn't able to get the sealer on last night, but it was going to be dry. There's actually no dew at all, so it kind of worked out good. I'm real happy with this part. I'm not so happy with the first part where I started. Like we said, I don't think I shook it up enough because it's definitely a lighter color over here. I'm really not convinced. I'm gonna leave it like this. I may just seal this outside portion and then see if I can get a quick order of like another gallon of antiquing stain, because it's not supposed to rain all week, and maybe I can save it with just one more coat. If not, I may come back and just coat it. It's gonna have mostly rugs on top of it anyway, so it won't be that big of a deal, but I do wish it was a little darker. All right, first coat of sealer's about to go on. Well, that's it. That's what it looks like when it rains. Went inside for a couple minutes to grab a cup of coffee and grab my cleats to get after this. I had the lid already off the antique or the sealer, the solvent-based sealer, and it starts raining on me. I can't believe it. I have no idea what this is going to do to the concrete. I probably have to start all over square one. I mean, it rained good for about 10 minutes. You can tell it looks like everywhere it puddled up, it's kind of taking the pigment away. Might be taking the pigment away everywhere it puddled up. I can't tell yet. We'll see what happens when it dries, but I got to go to work. So I'll be home tomorrow morning. It is 8:08 right now. Yeah, check this out, guys. Check out that. First thing I did is pull my phone out. Check that. Look. One blip of rain, then nothing for till Thursday. So here we are. We'll see what happens. At least I didn't get the sealer down and then have it rain right after that, because then I'd have to buy all new sealer too. As this stands, hopefully all I have to do is get a new 5-gallon bucket of antique stain and start over from square one. And it'd probably be easier to get off the concrete if the sealer's not on it too, if I do have to start over. But I'll call them in the morning. It's Sunday morning right now. I'll call them tomorrow morning and we'll get a game plan made and figure out what's going on. All right, here we are, like, this 4 days later. Monday morning, got a hold of Direct Colors, called them. They said, yeah, if it's still on there, the stain's still on there, then it's still good to go. Luckily for us, it was just a little bit of a shower, nothing to like wash it off. So under here, it actually does look almost the same, except for this one area is a little lighter, I think, because of the gutter was kind of washing out a little bit. So I went ahead and just ordered another gallon, because like I said earlier, I want to touch this up a little bit darker. You can see it's still all there, kind of, but it's all good. Everything under there looks good. So yeah, came in, called Monday morning about 9 o'clock, and they had it in the mail that day. It's supposed to be here Wednesday. Got delayed because they can only ship these things FedEx ground. They can't overnight anything, I guess, because it's a chemical. So got here today. Today is Thursday. We're about to have some rain. We've been having rain since last night. So I bought this big tarp. My wife, I was at work yesterday. My wife was good enough to lay this whole thing out for me. So everything under there is still good. We're gonna keep it covered up all night, and then tomorrow we will finish you know, that area under the porch, and then I'll add a little bit over here where it looks a little lighter, and hopefully get at least one coat of sealer on tomorrow as well. So it's looking good. Little hiccup, but luckily nothing I have to start over on, and it looks like it's all gonna be good and well as long as it doesn't wash away tonight and the tarp stays down. All right, here it is, day 5. Just got the tarp pulled off about 2 hours ago. Figured I'd let it air out a little bit, and got a new pump sprayer because I had some sealer that sat in the old one. because I was halfway through pouring it when started raining the other day. So here we are, dried off. Looks pretty good. A little moisture came through the tarp, but it just kind of sat, you know, a little moisture on the ground, little different spots, but nothing where it like washed anything away. So everything still looks good like it did, you know, last Sunday. Only thing is, of course, take it off. It's been sitting out about 2 hours, and guess what happens? A bird flies right through here and poops on it. So got some bird poop I gotta clean off real quick with a rag. Got another gallon in the other day of antique stain. So driftwood again, and make sure you mix this stuff up. We'll go over it again, but it is very important you mix it up, and then when you think you have it mixed up, mix it up some more, because it's not enough. You really need to mix it up. It was pretty obvious the difference between the first coat and the second coat, and how much more I was able to mix up. The bucket, especially, it was a 5-gallon bucket. It was completely full at the beginning. Once it was like half full, I could really shake it hard, and got that pigment really mixed up in the solution. So it went on a lot darker. So make sure you just mix it up as best you can, and when you think you've done enough, it's probably not, go ahead and mix it up for another 2 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna clean this bird poop off and get at it. Gonna put this other gallon on underneath the porch, and then clean up a couple little spots, and that's it. All right, there we have it. 1 extra gallon, so 6 total. Probably could have done it with 5 if I knew how to mix it up the first time. It's one of those deals where it says, you know, shake well. Well, they're not joking. I would say that's like the biggest thing I learned about this. If I had to tell somebody something to make sure you do, is shake that thing well, especially if it's a full bottle, like a 5-gallon one, where it really needs to be shaken up over you know, 5 gallons. So I'm happy. I think you can see how much darker it is right here. Try to put a little designs in there. While you're doing it, you just go heavy in some areas and just kind of make some little, you know, flowing looking rivers or whatever you want to call them. Write your name. I didn't do that, but you could do whatever you wanted. I kind of took advantage of some cracks, you know, and followed the cracks. It kind of like accentuated them, almost made them look like they're part of it, you know. Use them to your advantage. So yeah, that's it. Gonna sit here, let this dry. It is 2:16 right now in the afternoon. It's Friday afternoon. Kids are about to be home from school. The weekend has arrived. So yeah, hopefully this will be dry. It says 6 hours, so you know, about 8 o'clock. I'll come check it before then. We'll put some fans on it after these puddles dry up. I'll put some fans on it. I got 3 fans across the top of there. I'll turn on, put some like box fans over there. Maybe it'll dry a little quicker, but I will definitely be sealing this before I go to bed tonight. I don't think I'll be trying to wait to do it in the morning and then have like a pop-up rain shower again. glad it all worked out. So we'll see the final product. Not tomorrow. I work tomorrow, so I'll be home Sunday morning, go to church, and then when I go from that, I'll put the second coat on. And that second coat will have the grip layer. It's like a little fine sand basically you throw in it while it's wet, and I'll do that on the second layer of the sealer. So do the first one tonight. It'll basically be sealed for all intents and purposes tonight, hopefully. And there is no rain in the forecast, but they've lied to me before. There it is. Pretty happy. All right, it's 8:08 p.m. Friday night. Gonna knock out the first coat of sealer on here so I can go to work tomorrow. I'll be home Sunday morning. That way I won't have to worry about it and have another morning of rain. So all dry, looks pretty good. Just gonna blow it off real quick, and got the pump sprayer already filled up, about 2 gallons of sealer for the first shot. There's a good shadow, and yeah, hopefully within 10-15 minutes we'll be done here, and sleep good tonight. Not have to worry about it. There it is, first coat. Looks pretty good, I think, from what I can tell. Let's see here. See if that helps any. I hope I didn't put it on too thick. I don't think I did. I definitely didn't try to. I only used 2 gallons, which is just like the exact amount that this square footage called for. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. This side looks dry halfway already. That's the broom finish. So this patio under here that came with the house was broom finished. This that I added on was trowed. So yeah, so this side was trowed. Don't know what happened. The battery just said it was low, but it's not. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Good for tonight. All right, the first coat of sealer is on. It's the satin sealer, remember? And this is a day later. Now guys, remember, this is like 7 days into this process. It should have been like a 2-day process, but between weather, ran out of stain, and work, here we are 7 days later, is able to save save it, leave it unsealed for I think 4 or 5 days with that big tarp out there when it did rain one day over this area. This is all covered here on this side. So one thing I will say, this covered part is a broom finish that was with the house. This was an add-on, and this was trowel finished concrete. Didn't really know what I was doing when I had it done. Looking back, I probably would have just done the same finish that was over here if I knew it was going to matter. Because when the sun hits this in the morning, you can definitely tell that this is darker on the smooth trowel finish than the broom finish once the sealer was on. It was not like that. And I'll put pictures in the video. When it was just the antique stain on both sides, it was very similar as far as color goes. And you could kind of tell when you're right up on it that the finish was different. You know, it was a little more gritty on this side. And I'm going to add some of the non-slip additive on this one, and we'll do that right as we're doing the second coat, it says, from Direct Colors. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But I will say, like, the color did change. You can definitely tell when all the sun in the morning, the sun's from the east is over here, and when it hits it, it is two different shades of the same color. This is definitely a lighter color. So something to keep in mind if you're doing two different types of concrete right next to each other. Luckily, I do have a border. It's not like they're, you know, touching, but still, I would have liked to have it more uniform. So we'll see what happens here, the second coat, and adding the non-slip on here, if that changes any of the look of it, you know. But I have a feeling it's not going to. So yeah, here it is, fourth quarter. Got one more coat. I'm going to fill the pump sprayer up and go from there. So one thing I caught on to, but don't make the same mistake I did. That's why there's sealer. You see it glare in the sun, but all around this lid, this is like a pour spout. It has it printed on here really finely, and I was doing it at night on the first coat. But I caught a glimpse of it after I started pouring and looking at it to see why I couldn't get a good pour out of here, because it would just kind of splash all over. This is, you actually have to pull this up. So get some latex gloves and pull this up, this pour spout, because it's definitely messy to reach your finger in there like I did the first time. And so that lid pops up. I still use a funnel, but yeah, that was huge. I wish I knew that the first time I tried to pour it, because I definitely made a mess. Luckily it was in the grass, but I learned so you didn't have to. All right, second coat of sealer on under the porch. Stop there because on this smooth spot, I'm going to be putting the non-slip additive on it, and I'm probably going to do, just to make sure it doesn't dry. It says you can mix it in with the sealer. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kind of like
hand toss it like sideways across. I get low and toss it sideways after I get it wet. I'll probably do like each square, like do a square, spread the non-slip, spray a square, spread the non-slip, and then spray a square that doesn't have a corner and finish it up. So I'll make a video of that. Everything seemed to go on pretty good. You know, that it looks a lot darker with that second coat on, but like I said, you know, we'll see what it does when it dries, because it looked uniform the other day when it was all wet as well. All right, just finished sealing it. So what I ended up doing was taking that anti-slip stuff. Kids are going crazy. Slip resistant. This bag was about half full probably, because it's folded in half, taped. So that's their stuff. Slip resistant. Looks like some real fine white sugar. But I put that on this part, flat part, smooth flat part. I started off spraying the sealer first and then throwing it on top. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can reach that. Nope. Oak leaf already on there. Maybe I can get it with this. Anyway, started spraying and then throwing it on top. And as I backed up, I was like, man, that is really just bright. You could really see the white and how it looked like a bunch of sugar on top of it. And I was worried it would dry like that. So I said, well, the guy on the phone told me you could mix it in with your second coat, like in your pump sprayer, and spray it. I was kind of worried about it not coming out, because towards the end, every time I've been spraying that sealer, it actually, I mean, it kind of starts drying up because it's taken me a while, I guess, to spray. So I was worried about it getting clogged already, just as it is, much less, you know, throw some sand in there basically. So I just threw it down, and it was kind of nice too, because I could see it and I could it would skim farther across the concrete because it wouldn't stop and stick to anything. So I think that kind of worked out better. I did already touch like right here, and it is grippy for sure where I threw it on top of the sealer. But anyways, I finished it off, and you could kind of tell in the spots that I threw it on top. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if that's how it would have ended up once it's dry, but I did go back and just spray some extra sealer over what I could reach. So we'll see how that turns out. It is looking like this soaked up a bunch of color. It doesn't look as wet anymore on the broom finish concrete. So it's probably gonna end up being two colors like I thought, but oh well, we're learning. Yeah, I'll add some stuff in here at the end of the video or the beginning of the video, one or the other, on what I wish I would have known, done different. But yeah, till now, we'll wait till tonight and see what it turns out like. Here it is, not upset. The broomed concrete is still a little lighter. It's actually, can't tell, judging on the camera screen, it looks like a vast difference. In person, it's not that bad. But this is definitely darker over here, the smooth concrete. So if you want it darker, I would say it definitely seemed like it absorbed it better, or sat, maybe didn't absorb it, sat on top better, whatever you want to call it. Put the non-skid on here. You can see some spots where it's a little white. I guess I put it on a little heavy. I don't know if it'll end up wearing off or not, but it's definitely not slippery. It does work. Here's the broom finish area. Most of this will be covered up with outdoor rugs. This big area here, I think this middle area will not, and then that one will have a rug on it as well, so you won't even see much of it anyway. But not upset. Pretty happy with it. I will say I had my wife put that big tarp on there when I was at work, and I didn't feel like giving her a whole bunch of instructions or making her worry too much. So I didn't tell her not to walk on it. I didn't think she would walk too much on it, but there are a couple spots where some footprints are obvious, and that was after the second coat of stain, but before it had the first coat of sealer on it. So I was joking with her. I was like, you definitely wore your Uggs out here, because I can tell. But I'm not upset with her about it, because I honestly didn't tell her that, so it's all right. No one's going to be looking that close at it. Yeah, happy with it. Ready to put everything back on here.